Yes guys, so damn, we got the flash on. So guys, welcome back to another YouTube video, and today I thought I'd show you guys my sort of routine when I work. So it is currently just gone like 20 past 5. I've been up for about 40-ish minutes or so. I've had my first meal. Unfortunately, on days at work I do have to eat straight away, which is obviously not ideal, but I've had my first meal. I'm going to be off to work now. Start at 5:30, probably a bit late because I'm yapping in the car. I don't really care. But yeah, I thought I'd show you guys because this is going to be one of my last shifts here before I go full time. But I thought it would be like cool to show you guys how I actually go about my day when I work part time, when I do coaching, when I train, all of this sort of stuff on top. So I thought I'd show you a bit of a rundown of my day. My Osmo has come, which is obviously pretty cool. I will set it up for probably the remainder of the video, but I haven't had time to do that. So I'm doing this bit on my phone, hence the flash. But yeah, we're off to work now. I'm not really going to talk too much because I don't really have too much to say. But yeah, I'm excited to do this video. Probably going to be the last video in the UK before I go to Thailand, which is also pretty cool. I don't know if it'll be up before I go to Thailand. I'm going to have to make sure it is, because otherwise I'm going to be behind, and I want to actually like be quite on my YouTube shit while I'm out there. Starting a little mini series, bodybuilding in Thailand, something like that, like a mini series. I think that would be quite cool. But yeah, we're off to work now. I'll see you guys in a bit. Well, I'll probably say I'll see you in a bit, but I say probably in about 4 or 5 hours on my break, and when I have my pre-workout meal, and then we're training legs today, which is pretty fun, pretty exciting. The flash is giving me blow by, if you can tell, because I'm currently like looking back and forth. Yes guys, so just finished my pre-meal, and I'm just basically I'll spend the rest of my break pretty much just replying to messages after I've made the Instagram post, which I already did. I did that while I was eating my pre. Usual sort of illness protocol is going to be just generally bumping up your fluids. Obviously, especially if you're quite congested, you're probably going to be a bit more dehydrated. It makes sense to replenish your fluids. Likewise, if you have an electrolyte supplement. When it comes to being at the top, I try and minimize the amount of rest time you spend at the top. I'd always suggest like 1 to 2 breaths, absolute maximum. Ideally, mate, you always want to keep a set as continuous as possible. A few inches of the eccentric you can go through pretty slowly. Those, like, especially those first few inches, like, it's not going to cause you much fatigue, and it's going to give you the chance to sort of compose yourself, take your breath in, secure a good amount of air in, and actually maximize your internal stability without actually compromising the sort of continuous aspect, or the continuousness aspect of a set. Don't measure in mil, measure in milligrammage. Because yes guys, so we have finished our shift at Asda. One more Tuesday shift left, which is pretty cool to think about. It's kind of scary, but yeah, exciting times ahead. So I'm going to make my pre-workout now. So I'm going to give you guys a bit of a boot tool, mostly specifically for my client Sam. So shout out Sam, this is for you. This is my boot tool. I don't really have that much interesting stuff in here at the moment, other than my some gym clothes, some other bits and bobs. So I'm going to have to charge this before I get to the gym. It's already on 19%, which is not ideal. I do have the correct combo, so I'm pretty sure I have a battery pack, but that's assuming the battery pack already has some charge, so we'll see. I'll make my pre, I'll show you guys, then we're going to go off and train legs, which is going to be pretty exciting, pretty cool. Next time you see me, I will be in different clothes, as you can see. I'm still in my work uniform, so yeah, let the camera clip. Actually wait, no, because I've got to show you my boot first. No, fucking mind. So right on. So here we have the boot. So I'm still getting there, guys. I'm trying to adjust it. Hold on. There we go. As you can see, here is my boot tool. So we've got some pre's and some like car stuff in there, like bulbs. Like, to be honest, like bulbs for my old car. But like basically just some like car bits in there. Pre-workouts in the funnel in here. Emergency water bottle, and then intra workout bits in there. And then here is a big duffel bag of cleaning stuff that I got when I bought my car. A hoodie, a gym bag with this t-shirt, which I wore yesterday, which I need to get rid of, and my current water bottle. So I'm going to make my pre. I'm going to have some Dark Side, probably, and some pump product from somewhere in there. But remember, Conte Sports, get products from them, JT10. Don't look at all that shit. I do use Conte stuff. I've just also got other stuff in here. But JT10 at Conte, guys. JT10 at Conte. Right guys, so we are at the gym. I hope you can hear me because I don't know, I'm pretty sure it does still pick up audio. It should, I'm guessing it still picks up audio obviously, when I don't have the mic on, but I don't have the mic on. I'm actually not going to probably wear the mic for the session. To be honest, I actually don't know what I'm going to record. I might record some, I might not record a lot. To be honest, I might just go in there and like put over my like training clips. I don't know if I'm going to record too much because this is more so kind of supposed to be a bit of a day in the life. Like, I want to film, but I also don't really want to film today, so we'll just see. Like, I'll film, obviously. I'll make a fucking YouTube video regardless, but I just don't know how much my training I will film. So we'll see. Let's fucking go train. Let's get it. Yes, hello guys, so we're back. It's actually been a few hours to be fair. Obviously the last clips you would have seen would have been some me training. I kind of forgot to film my post-workout because I'm always ravenous after legs. I'm always ravenous post-workout regardless, but I was very hungry after legs. So I didn't film that, and then I've kind of just been finishing off work, and I had just cleared my WhatsApp, but in the last 60 seconds I already had 2 messages come back through. To be honest, as an online coach, your WhatsApp, like when you actually like at least somewhat busy, you're never really going to clear your WhatsApp, and it's definitely something that I used to let stress me out a lot more. I'm always like very on top of messages, or at least I like to think so, when it comes to responses and replies, but I think like I always used to try and like go to bed and have an absolutely clear WhatsApp, but it gets to the point where you're constantly getting messages regardless. And also I go to bed a lot earlier than half my clients anyway, so it gets to the point where sometimes you do just have to allow some messages to go, or like wake up to, and then because I wake up earlier than all my clients, I then can clear my WhatsApp in the morning, but trying to clear it in the evening is sometimes a bit of a vigorous task. But I love it. I love coaching, and like I think I never really knew what coaching was. Like, I always knew I wanted to see something in fitness, but I think like I've really like ever since I started coaching, like, I think I've really like actually found like such a passion for it, and like especially like the athletes I sort of work with now, like the actual caliber of them, and also like the sort of relationship I have with a lot of them is a lot cooler. And like every single one of my clients, I think at the moment, I really care. Like, I don't want to say I don't care about all my clients, because I do, but like this is what I mean. Like, all the clients I have at the moment, I have like a really good relationship with, which is fucking awesome. Like, to think I'm in the position where like I've and the amount of in-person check-ins I've done like this last like couple of weeks has been sick. It's been really, really cool. We've got another one on Friday with, shout out Alex. And I'll be doing some more. I'll be doing even more when I come back and I'm full time, which is fucking cool. So yeah, I just want to have a chat about actually Thailand, my sort of plans going forward, how I'm going to be sort of addressing Thailand when it comes to sort of bodybuilding, and then like why I'm going full time, or how things are going to change for me going full time. I might, because I did record some more of my session on my phone. I might put those into this video anyway. I only recorded like 3 clips on the Osmo, because the battery pack was low, and to be fair, so was the camera. Now I need to charge it. But since I've got home, all I've done is I had my post-workout, had a shower, I've edited a YouTube video, which is currently like sort of uploading on my phone. It's quite good. It's the in-person with Zach from a couple of weeks ago now. I've cleared my WhatsApp, not cleared anymore. I had one check-in from yesterday. I don't have any check-ins on a Tuesday because I work, so I use it as like a catch-up day at the moment. I used to, but I moved it around a little bit, or moved. I only had like one check-in on this day, so I moved it around. So basically, all my check-ins are like more so in like blocks, because as much as I want to get to the point where I have check-ins like all the time, I'm not that busy at the moment. I love what I do. I'm really fucking grateful to be in a position where I can go full time. Hopefully things work out, obviously, and hopefully I don't have to end up getting another job or end up homeless or whatever. I'm joking. But either way, like, obviously it is scary, because I've been in a position where I probably could have gone full time a little while ago, but at the same time, like, I wanted to make sure I'd like really sort of almost solidified the client base that I had, and also I wanted more money. Like, realistically, obviously go to Thailand. Obviously PDs are fucking expensive as well. Well, not necessarily PDs, but they will be eventually one day. And also like the health ups, and just money stresses me out, bro. Everyone watching this can probably relate. Money doesn't buy you happiness, but it does bring you peace of mind. So yeah, quite a big scary step going full time, but at the same time, like, I wouldn't trade it for the world. I'm fucking sick to death of working at Asda. I fucking hate it there, like, honestly. The last day, I tell you what, the amount of customers I'm gonna rage bait, because when it comes to Thailand. So, how am I going to go about things? Well, at the end of the day, I am out there to travel. I'm out there to experience it. It's something I've wanted to do. It's something Phoebe's wanted to do for quite some time. And, you know, like, I'm not going to let bodybuilding take away from that experience, but I'm also not going to allow the experience to take away from my ability to progress, and it's not. So basically, the way I'm going to handle things, I've honestly, I spent the last like 2 months like constantly like thinking about how I'm going to do everything, and I'm pretty set in with how everything's going to work. I think cardio, at the moment I do cardio like 6 times a week. I don't think that will necessarily be sustainable out there unless I start doing running, which I might do the odd run, but I'm not really a running guy. I also don't want to fucking lose all my muscle, because I'm not a fucking high rocks athlete. So either way, cardio wise may look a bit different. My steps are always high. My steps are around 15k on average anyway, but like, I imagine that my cardio frequency probably still won't be 6 times a week, depending on how often I have access to a gym, because at the same time, like, I don't want to obviously, but each time I have to go to the gym, I have to buy a day pass, which is sound. Don't have an issue with that. But I'm also like, if I were to do cardio 6 times a week, like, day passes out there can be quite expensive, or really fucking cheap. It's either or. But also on top of that, then it's like, obviously getting to the gym, which is obviously going to cost money. It's going to cost time. Like, at the end of the day, if I want to do cardio that bad, I will just go for a fucking run. But I will set myself the minimum of doing at least 4 sessions a week, 4 25-minute sessions, obviously, which I'll probably just do post-workout, because it's a lot more sort of convenient. So that's that. I'll essentially, I'll literally just wrap up my sessions, which is probably the most interesting thing to talk about. And then I'll just hop on the bike or whatever and do 25 minutes of cardio. Steps, like I said, will be fucking through the roof anyway, so not an issue. Training wise, I'm gonna go to not a 4-day split. I'll run it as like frequently as possible, so 4 to 4.5 day split. But either way, I'm gonna run basically a variation of upper lower, where I run, probably looking at running it backwards, so lower upper. The reason having the lower session first is if I do it back to back, basically, or like basically do it literally on repeat. If I'm to do an arm day, which I might occasionally do on like the rest day, for example, if I'm able to, it will then feed into a lower day as opposed to an upper day, therefore not having any sort of a negative effect on performance. And then what I'll look upon doing with the upper day is, obviously the upper day is the only day that's not going to be similar to a session I already run, because the rest of the sessions are pretty much already sessions I already run. It's essentially what I've done is I've combined my push and my pull session to a degree into one. So I'll be running lower, upper, lower being my usual sort of leg day. Generally, it's obviously going to be a bit different. And then the other two upper lower sessions are going to be a pull and leg session, which again similar to what I already run, and then a push and arm session, again similar to what I already run. I will be doing this in order to allow for more flexibility across the week, because again, like if I need to take double rest days, the 7-day split doesn't really allow for that, and like, I'll probably end up missing a few sessions here or there. So I'd much rather just have a split that's a lot more sort of flexible and easy to sort of adhere to, and that's more sustainable. And also, like I said, like I'm out there to experience Thailand. I don't need to spend the whole fucking time training. I can do that here. I'm still gonna make fucking progress. I'm still gonna come back fucking bigger than I am leaving. I tell you that. But yeah, that's that. I'm going to be running an RDL as opposed to a stiff leg, just because obviously training in different gyms, the barbell, the plates there, a lot of the plates there look quite small, like diameter wise as well. So then it'll basically be pulling from a deficit all the time. So I'm going to run an RDL, because then it doesn't really matter too much about like the sort of equipment being as standardized. For the most part, I've got a general sort of structure I'm going to run. Like I know not every gym is going to be the same. Not every gym is going to have like amazing kit. Some gyms actually that I have found out there look pretty fucking stacked relative to like what they've got. But again, it'll just be a case of following a similar movement structure. I'm not going to put too much pressure on like trying to necessarily see progressive overload sort of occurring, because at the end of the day, it's going to be hard to actually gauge that when I'm training in different gyms. But the thing is, all I need to really look upon is generally training fucking hard and getting fucking strong, which I fucking will do. I think that's one thing that I really do definitely do, is train fucking hard. But either way, that's basically the sort of premise around training. Volume is going to be similar, probably potentially tapered down a little bit, because I definitely have found myself in a bit of a rut recently where I've been trying to probably do a bit too much, and it's definitely, I think, burnt me out a bit mentally when it comes to like sort of getting to that latter end of the session. I think especially like, I think I mentioned this in one of the previous YouTube videos, I did like 39 sets on a fucking pull day. 39 sets is a fucking lot. So yeah, it's definitely getting to the point where I think I have found myself in a bit of a rut. And it's definitely been a bit of a pain, because I like doing more, but I also then sometimes do definitely find it just takes away from the overall session enjoyment. But either way, that's that. And then nutrition wise, this is probably the most stressful thing in a way, because I know this is not going to be, or like the way I'm going to go about things is not like too locked in, because again, it'll be quite difficult. I'm not going to eat like a bellend. I'm bringing scales out with me, so I can still ensure I'm having a steady rate of gain, not gaining too fast, but also not losing weight, because like I said, I do want to make progress while I'm out there. So I'll bring scales with me. That's body weight scales, but I'm also going to bring food scales with me too, obviously. The 2 meals I'm going to try standardize are still going to be my pre-workout and my post-workout meal. When I say standardize, maybe not necessarily sources, I'm going to have whey out there, but more so like the sort of macro target. So I'm going to probably, like, based upon my current food, I'll probably say like I'll probably have 200 carb pre and 200 carb post workout, with both of those with probably like 60 grams of whey. So let's say maybe like oats, whey, maybe some fucking fruit, pre-workout meal sorted, maybe some dark, I don't know, don't really need fucking dark chocolate when I'm having fucking a shit ton of oats, because they're already fucking fat in there. But either way, 200 carbs either side of the sort of workout window, no intra workout. Maybe I could look upon getting a Lucozade, for example, or a sort of sports drink out there, but I'm not too fussed. I don't think I'll be in the gym as long as I usually would, but at the same time, I might. It just sort of depends on how things go. But yeah, either way, I'll have standardized pre-workout and post-workout macros ideally. So the post-workout will probably just be cereal and whey, similar to what it is here. And then like for the other meals throughout the day, I'm probably still going to have like probably 4 meals, but an additional protein meal. So like the pre-workout meal, the post-workout meal, 1 meal either side of that, probably, depending on what time I'm training. So I probably won't train in the middle of the day like I usually do, to be fair, because like I'll probably be doing shit. So I imagine I'll train in the morning or late in the evening. But either way, the pre-workout meal, the post-workout meal, and then 2 meals, like like decent meals. They probably won't be tracked, to be entirely honest. They might be to a degree, but more so just ensuring I'm getting a protein feeding with each of those, and they're not ridiculously big or not ridiculously small. Like I said, the thing is, my food's pretty high, so it's probably going to be like relatively easy to not be an absolute idiot. And then probably just like more so a pro fat meal, or more so just a pro meal. So 5 protein feedings still throughout the day, but more so 4 meals. Again, depending on how sort of things go. I say all this now, it may be completely different out there. I have no fucking clue what it's going to be like. I've never really gone traveling like this. Like, I've been on holiday, but I've not been away from my bodybuilding routine for a long period of time, let alone to the standard I hold myself to now. And then when it comes to hydration out there, obviously I'll be going through a lot of water bottles. I'll probably taper it down a little bit to, like, the thing is, obviously it's going to be hotter out there, so I probably will drink a lot, but I also don't think I'm, like, drinking 10 litres a day out there might not be sustainable, depending on how much a water bottle is. But, like, if I think about it, if, like, let's say, even if a water bottle was, like, £1, right? If I'm having, like, a 1 litre bottle and I'm buying 10 of those a day, that's £10 a day. If I'm out there for however many days, you know, that's going to be a fuck ton of money on water. So I'll probably drink around 8 litres as an absolute minimum, because, again, like, it's important I stay hydrated. I always drink a lot of water here. It's good for blood pressure, etc. And just other sort of health metrics. And then lastly, supplements. I'm going to bring out HydroFlow, because obviously it'll be pretty hot out there, so it makes sense to have an electrolyte supplement. It's very easy to get electrolyte supplements out there, but I've obviously got to plug Conte. Also, while I'm here, I will plug Trinity JT10. Same at Conte. But yeah, I'll probably bring out HydroFlow. I'm not going to bring tons of supplements. I'll try, if I can buy more out there, sound, but I also don't want to fucking overload all my fucking, like, weight limit for my packing with fucking supplements. So that, creatine probably, or I might buy that out there, to be fair, because that'll be fucking easy to come by. Whey, again, I'm not going to be able to bring whey for the whole journey out there, so I'll bring a little bit and then buy more out there. And then my Supreme Sleep. The reason I'm bringing Supreme Sleep is because, first of all, helps with sleep, but also it's got magnesium in, which is one of my favorite supplements to take. It's the second most common deficiency across people in the UK, I believe, or maybe in the world, I can't remember, but it's obviously got magnesium in. It's got ashwagandha in, which again is very good for sort of cortisol and stress management. I might be quite stressed out there, who the fuck knows, probably be quite chill out there because I'm out in the UK. And then obviously, it's also got a few other little things in there that I can't really think of anything off the top of my head. L-theanine, obviously. It's got the sleep aid sort of stuff, but I was just trying to think of anything that's a bit sort of different. But yeah, either way, obviously, I'll be taking those two. Like I said, creatine out there. I thought about bringing, like, omega-3s and, like, some of my other health subs, but honestly, like, when I'm, like, the thing is, my PD usage isn't high enough to the point where I probably can get away with just going going without fucking taking my circulatory complete for 6 weeks. I'll be sound. For example, like, if maybe it takes fucking 6 weeks off my life. If it does, it's probably worth it. But yeah, that's everything, guys. Well, it's not. I say it's everything. I don't think this is the end of the video. It might be. If it is, drop a like. Drop some love, and I'll see you guys in the next one. But it also might not be. So here's the next clip, if there is more. But yeah, I'm going to go make some food because I'm kind of getting hungry now, and I'll speak to you guys in a bit.